Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today is your city administrator, Chad Brecklin. Chad, welcome back to the show. How are you doing, long time no see friend?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Jeremy. How have you been? I don't know if I've seen you on this show in like 3 or 4 months.
Basically after we won the awards, it all went to my head. And I've been out on tour, shaking hands, signing autographs, and I put Andrew to work. I mean, it was as simple as that. There's no other excuse.
Well, that was one of the possible theories that I was kicking around there, that had completely gone to your head. But on the bright side, not only did you and the FAC team win those awards, but also I was in the very capable hands of Andrew in your absence. So no harm, no foul.
He does a good job. We like when he fills in, and if I could get him to do more of the show, that would be great, and I could take a back seat, but I know he won't let me do that. So when he's there, he's great to help us out and make this work. So I'm glad that I'm able to join you, but I definitely feel the same way, that you definitely were in the right hands, at least for the interviews. And as I told you, it was a better chance for you two to bond a little bit over your new role as city administrator. And that's what we'll take our first question of the day today. You're 5 months in, Chad, and at this point in the year, normally we would be saying, well, Chad, it's been another year. How did this year go, and how would you wrap it up? But let's just look at the first 5 months. How are things going for you? Settling in, enjoying the meetings? What's going on out there?
So yeah, the first 5 months of the city administrator role have been definitely quite busy for me. You mentioned meetings, and many days it seems like I'm going from one meeting to the next, to the next, to the next. I think one day last week I was recounting for somebody the number of meetings I had in one day, and I think, granted it was a long day, but I think I got to 10 meetings that day. So yeah, there's no shortage of time for me to sit in meetings and spend some time on city operations and a variety of other things. But overall, meetings aside, things I think have gone well. It's been very interesting learning more about city operations and having a better understanding, how all the parts, so to speak, fit together and come together as one and make the city run, so to speak. And I've been very lucky to have such great people like the two of you who have been very kind and supportive and helpful as I've transitioned into the new role. We have a lot of great people throughout the city in all of its departments, which obviously I knew that as having been a member of the city for over 20 years. But it's definitely given me a new appreciation for the type of people that we have here and how dedicated and helpful and committed they are to helping one another, and also to provide great services to our community as well. So it's been a good transition, and 22 will be continuing that transition with lots more to continue to learn, and lots of opportunities ahead.
Absolutely. And as Fact TV, we get to see a lot of the departments as well, and it is amazing how city operations all comes together and how it all intertwines. But you're definitely on the inside track there with the new position, and I think you're off to a great start, certainly. And we'll challenge you now to all those meetings you have been in. We start with, it is annual property tax collection season in City Hall this year for the collection. You did want to mention that as part of some of the stuff we're talking about today.
Yeah, this is obviously our tax bills, property tax bills went out, I think about a week or so ago, and they've been arriving in folks' mailboxes beginning early last week. And there's been a steady stream of folks coming in to take care of their property tax payments, which of course we always appreciate that timely payment. Also, as a sidebar, of course, dog license or pet licenses are due at this time as well. So we've seen some folks at the front counter taking care of those also. I do want to reiterate, though, obviously, that when those property tax bills show up in everyone's mailbox, we certainly take that with all level of seriousness, and know that that's a financial impact that our property owners have to account for every single year. And we certainly here at City Hall try to do our best to be very good stewards of your money that you provide us, all with the effort of providing outstanding city municipal services to our communities. So I hope that in those situations where our residents and property owners have utilized city services, they have had a positive experience and have felt that the value of those services have have met their expectations. So with the holiday season coming up, City Hall is typically closed in recognition of some holidays. It will be closed on December 24th and 25th. And closing at noon on December 30th. And also City Hall will be closed on December 31st, which is Friday of next week. However, for tax collection purposes, any day City Hall is open, tax collection begins at 7:30 a.m. and continues until 4:30 p.m. And on those days in which City Hall is closed that I mentioned on the 30th and 31st, tax collection will be available from 7:30 a.m. to 12 noon on both the 30th and 31st. So anyone wishing to make those tax payments in advance of the new year, City Hall is going to be open for the purposes of tax collection, tax payment collection on the 31st. So you can still get that payment in by 12 noon.
And if you can't get here in those hours, you can drop that payment off in the drop box in the foyer. Remember, no cash, though, when you drop that off in there. And please don't send cash in the mail if you are mailing it, or Misty will have my hide for not sharing that information. So very important on that. And thanks for the update there, Chad. Speaking of funds, we finished budget out last year for this upcoming year, but a note here of ARPA funds. If you could tell the folks what the ARPA funds are and what will be happening here coming up in 22 with those.
Yeah, so it seems like we always tend to be in some sort of a budget season here in the city of Fitchburg, whether it's capital budget season or operating budget season, or if we're not actually discussing and planning budgets, we're certainly prepping for the next round of capital and or operating budget. But with the ARPA funds, which is the American Rescue Plan funds that the federal government has been providing to municipalities, the legislation I think was passed in either spring of 2021 or maybe summer. I don't know exactly what the timing of that was, but ultimately we've been reviewing the guidelines. They still are in an interim state, those guidelines, but they're at a point where we feel we can at least begin to proceed with developing a spending plan for the funding that we are going to be receiving from the federal government. In total, the city of Fitchburg is expected to receive just about $3.2 million in ARPA funds. Those funds can be used for things like water quality, stormwater quality issues, and other projects related to responding to COVID and the associated issues that the pandemic has created in our communities. So our city council will begin to develop that spending plan in conjunction with Mayor Richardson, beginning in the first quarter of 2022. Our finance director, Misty Dodge, who we all know is outstanding and stays on top of all things budgetarily, including the ARPA funding, has developed a proposed timeline, which was modified a bit and acted upon by the city council at our meeting on December 14th. So in January, she will do a presentation on how we may utilize those ARPA funds and other guidelines and considerations that are important for us in our community and our council to be aware of. And then the Mayor Richardson will develop a tentative spending plan based upon the priorities that he's identified. And then the city council and our community will have an opportunity to provide feedback and input and potential amendment and modification to that proposed spending plan that Mayor Richardson creates. So please, folks, stay tuned to the notices that might be posted in regards to city meetings. I'm sure our website will be updated as well in regards to agendas and other opportunities for public input, but likely our council meetings in February and March will certainly provide that opportunity for input for those in our community to come in and talk about how they might wish for the city to utilize those ARPA funds. And of course, I would encourage anyone to contact Mayor Richardson and or their respective alder in their district to also share any feedback they may have.
Perfect. Well, appreciate the breakdown and appreciate your time as always, Chad. We're out of time, but we'll look forward to checking in with you at the new year. Have a safe and wonderful holiday break. And I promise at least 6 episodes with you next year. I can give you 50%, but that's about it.
You know what? I'll take what I can get. I'll be in good hands either way between you and Andrew. So we're all good. We're all good.
All right. That is your city administrator, Chad Brecklin, and stay up to the latest news on the website as far as ARPA tax collection and other questions you may have. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.